Namaste. We humans have a number of requirements, we have a number of needs. We need air, we need water, we need food, we need shelter. And these needs are very similar to what all other organisms, all other animals on this planet also have. But what differentiates us from these animals is that humans not only have needs, they also have wants. We want a number of things, whether we need it or not. We want the latest smartphone, we want the latest gadgets, we want more and more number of cars. We want to consume more electricity. And for a very long period of time, we have looked at development by looking at the amount of consumption that is going on. In fact, whether a country is developed or not is often understood in terms of how much electricity every person uses in that country. So if the country is using more and more amount of electricity, it is more developed. If a country is using electricity in a more sustainable manner, if a country is cutting down on the use of electricity, we'll say that, okay, this country is not that developed. Now, when we have these wants, and these wants are unlimited, how do we satisfy these wants? We satisfy these wants by taking up resources from Mother Nature. So if we want electricity, we dig up coal. We dig up natural gas. When we want to have more number of cars, we dig up metals in the form of mines. And in this process, we also pollute the environment. So when a company tries to manufacture something, in a number of cases, it releases noxious fumes. It also pollutes the waterways. Now, this process had been going on for quite a while. But in the 1960s and 1970s, people started to feel the pinch. Because what goes around comes around. So in the 1970s, people began to feel that, okay, enough is enough. Now we are suffering from the consequences. In the US, it was noted that because of a widespread use of insecticides, the birds were dying. In the spring season, people could no longer hear the chirping of birds. There was a book that was published that is known as The Silent Spring. In Japan, when a corporation dumped mercury compounds into the seas, the fishes were poisoned and the people that ate those fishes also got poisoned. We have the Minamata disease. So in the 1970s, people said, okay, enough is enough. Now we are going to put a stop on it. So in the 1970s, the United Nations came together on this issue. A number of acts and laws were passed in different countries. Even in our country, we got the Air Act and the Water Act, the Wildlife Protection Act, where we said that, okay, now we are going to be more concerned citizens. Now we are going to use the environment in a more sustainable manner. But that was the 1970s. Now in 2020, it's like 50 years have passed. So what has happened in the past 50 years? How well have we been able to protect the environment? So it turns out that in the last 50 years, the wildlife populations have gone down by 60%. Our population, the population of human beings, has actually more than doubled in this period. The amount of resources that we are using, they have increased further. Now, it is simple to solve these issues. We have means available. If you want to protect your environment, you have a number of pollution controlling devices. You have sustainable sources of energy that can be made use of. But why are they not being used? They are not being used because you also have the issue of economics that is going on. Now, when we talk about economics, a number of these problems have come because of bad economic decisions. In our country, when we talk about the Bhopal gas disaster, it could very easily have been prevented if the corporation, the Union Carbide Corporation, had installed the protective devices. And it had installed protective devices in its plants in the United States. But in India, it did not go for the protective devices. The plant was ill maintained. Why? Because the company thought that, okay, Indian life is cheap. So basically, whenever we talk about decisions, in a number of cases, the cost of doing something comes into the picture. If you have a corporation that is spewing out pollutants, and if the government makes it compulsory to install a pollution controlling device, the first thing that the company would think is, what will be the impact of purchasing, procuring, and maintaining this device on the profits that we are making? And so, if we want to do conservation, and conservation is inevitable, because when we harm the nature, we are harming ourselves, and nobody wants to harm themselves or their children or their grandchildren. So we want to have an environment that has clean air, clean water, lots of groundwater. But if we want to do that, we also have to keep in mind the economics that goes on in making these decisions and in implementing those decisions. So in this course, we shall explore all these topics. We shall explore how the market works, how the economic decisions, seemingly rational decisions, lead to very irrational outcomes, and how we can solve these issues by using not less economics, or not by throwing out economics, but by using more economics, by having better models, so that we make a profit, we have development, but in a fashion that also saves the environment. So that's all what we are going to look in this course.